The confirmation process for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has lots of moving parts. The FBI investigation, the Senate vote that Mitch McConnell says will come later this week, and the backlash over President Trump mocking Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford.
With possibly just hours left before the FBI concludes its investigation into sexual assault accusations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, accusations he fully and vehemently denies, both sides are making their final rebuttals in public.
There's an issue that should matter even to them, and that is the credibility and temperament of Judge Kavanaugh.
She's been treated like a Fabergé egg by all of us, beginning with me and the president. He's pointing out factual inconsistencies.
The testimony by Dr. Ford was compelling, but you can't make this decision based on emotion. It has to be based on fact.
The White House put on the defensive after President Trump supporters laughed and applauded as the president mocked Christine Blasey Ford.
But I don't know.
Senators on both sides of the aisle disagreeing with the president's remarks.
I thought his comments were disgraceful and shows that he has no empathy for survivors of sexual violence.
The president's comments were just plain wrong.
Including one of Kavanaugh's most vocal supporters, Senator Lindsey Graham.
I don't like what the president said last night.
But that's not changing his overall opinion.
I thought Kavanaugh was treated like crap. Yeah, well, boo yourself.
And now, if you'll permit me, a few thoughts of my own on this president and the depths to which he continues to sink as he brings us down with him. After watching our president say this last night about a woman who's come forward as a victim of sexual assault.
36 years ago, this happened. I had one beer, right? I had one beer. Well, do you think it was? Nope, it was one beer. Oh, good. How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know. I don't know. What neighborhood was it in? I don't know. Where's the house? I don't know. Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know. But I had one beer. That's the only thing I remember.
Who would possibly say something like that? Something so uncaring, so unfeeling, so devoid of empathy or sympathy or any sort of human connection to another human in pain. Even if her claims hurt your political objective, because being a person is more important than being a president. We've been here before as a nation. Trump's contemptuous comments last night made me think of this moment from 1954.
You've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?
Have you no sense of decency, sir? It's a question well shamed at Senator Joe McCarthy, puncturing McCarthy's image and ending his reign of terror, running Washington's anti-communist crusade, a crusade that was largely designed to crush anyone standing between McCarthy and a television camera, whether they deserved it or not. Sounds familiar. But to ask if our current president has any decency is just to waste the question. We know this president has no sense of decency. We saw it from the president last night. We also saw it Monday at the White House.
Question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her. No. She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're not thinking, you never do. Not only did the president insult ABC reporter Cecilia Vega by saying she never thinks, Trump's enablers at the White House covered it up by altering the official transcript of the press conference. Now, instead of "you're not thinking," the official transcript as recorded by our government says "you're not thanking," which of course makes no sense. Because it's never just about the guy who acts badly, it's also about his enablers, but more on that in a moment. Because this is who Trump is. We saw it on the campaign trail mocking a disabled reporter.
The poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
And mocking and insulting the parents of a soldier who died in defense of our nation, a soldier who happened to be Muslim, all because his parents exercised their American right to criticize Donald Trump.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that.
This presidency has no sense of decency, or he's decided that being indecent is just more effective. Either way, he is a presidential man-child, acting with the same impulse and lack of control as a toddler might. So how do we respond when we see a toddler acting inappropriately, acting up in a restaurant or bullying other kids on the playground or anything else? Yes, we roll our eyes at the child, then we wonder, where are his parents who let him act like this? For this president, that means Republicans in Congress. But we know they will do nothing because they have done nothing. Out of fear of reprisal, fear that Trump's followers will abandon them on Election Day, or if it's just part of a shameful bargain where the president's indecency is just the price they're willing to pay for Supreme Court justices, for lower taxes, for conservative policies. Whatever the reason, their decency was for sale, and they sold it in a dubious bargain. But it's not just Republicans in Congress. They are only one of the parents turning their backs as their man-child rages on. The other parent is the one wholly missing from the picture. And I'm talking about Trump's voters and the voters who support the Republicans who turn their backs on all that Trump does. This is on you too, and I say that knowing many of you in the audience watching right now voted for Trump or voted for Republicans who prop him up. This is on you too. You helped make possible the crowds who heard what the president said last night and cheered, then chanted "lock her up." You signed off on that treacherous deal, Trump's inexcusable and unpresidential behavior for what? Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh? For a cut in corporate and top-end taxes? For a wall on the Mexican border? If there was a schoolyard bully roughing up your child or the child of someone you knew and the bully's parents did nothing and the school did nothing, would you do nothing as well? What kind of lesson would that teach your children or the other children in the yard? Do whatever you want, the ends justify the means? There is not a religion or moral code or decent set of parents that would allow that. Will you allow it now? Because that bully is very real, and your kids and all of our kids are watching and wincing. And so I ask Trump supporters and voters watching tonight, have you no sense of decency? We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the politics of the Kavanaugh confirmation battle, some key Republicans condemning the president's latest comments, as I just did. We'll look back at how this could all play out.